In case you missed it, we wrapped up this week's news for you. Uniteam presidential candidate Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and running mate Sara Duterte are leading in COMELEC's partial and unofficial count. Both Marcos Jr. and Duterte got votes of more than 30 million, securing the top posts in the country. Presidential candidates from the recently concluded polls have accepted their loss to the Uniteam bet, even sent their well wishes to the incoming administration of Marcos Jr.
Meron na pong pinili ang taong bayan, ang bawat Pilipino. Sa kasalukuyan po ay nais kong batiin si dating Senador Ferdinand Marcos sa kanyang pangunguna. Sa atin namang mga kababayan, hindi po magtatagumpay ang susunod na administrasyon pagpatuloy po ang ating hinagpis, kalungkutan, o maaaring baka meron pa tayong sama ng loob.
Protests break out in front of the COMELEC's office in Manila as Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son of a former Philippines dictator, wins the country's presidential race by a landslide. University students have also called for a walkout, saying there will be no classes under a Marcos presidency. Actor Padilla has surged to first place in the senatorial race as he secured more than 26 million votes in COMELEC's partial and unofficial count. Padilla admitted he did not expect taking the lead in the Senate polls, but he believes the result is a proof that Filipinos are backing his campaign to shift on a federal form of government. The opposition failed to secure seats in the Senate as re-electionist Risa Hontiveros emerged to be the only candidate in the Magic 12. In a statement, Hontiveros credited her re-election to those supporting her advocacies for women, youth, and workers. Outgoing President Rodrigo Duterte urged his successor, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., to amend the 1987 Constitution immediately after he assumed the presidency next month.
Ngayon na, para walang mapolitika, there is really a demand of the moment yung the changes ng Constitution. Whether you want to convert it into a federal or ngayon na, umpisa na kaagad. Kasi pag ginawa mo yan, yung patapos ka na, sabihin nila, you want to change some provisions in that Constitution to allow you to run. Gano'n, parang ginawa sa akin.
Presumptive President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is reportedly eyeing his cousin, late Representative Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, as the next House Speaker. However, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo is reportedly hurting over what her camp described as betrayal by Romualdez. A Politiko scooper said, based on their original agreement before the campaign, Arroyo would return as Speaker and Romualdez would remain as Majority Leader. Vice President Sara Duterte is ready to take her appointment in Marcos Jr.'s cabinet. Marcos said he sees the outgoing Davao City Mayor best fit to be the country's education secretary.
Tinanong ko sa kanya kung kaya niya yung trabaho dahil mahirap ang trabaho ng Secretary of Education. Pero nag-agree naman siya at palagay ko kasama na diyan dahil she is a mother. And she wants to make sure that her children are well trained and well educated, and that's the best motivation that we can hope for.
Former MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos, campaign manager of President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr., will be the Secretary of the Department of the Interior and Local Government. Abalos has already accepted the offer. Spokesman attorney Vic Rodriguez dodged the question regarding the missing Picasso painting that was spotted in the house of former First Lady Imelda Marcos. Instead, Rodriguez challenged former COMELEC Chair Andy Bautista to return to the country.
The allegation is coming from, I believe, the former chair of the COMELEC. You know, it's very easy to be agitating people, making allegation, making accusation, when you are thousands of miles away from your motherland. I invite you, Chairman Andy Bautista, to come home if you're confident enough, make your allegations here in person, and so that, to be fair to the Filipino people, we can also hold you accountable for the many misdeeds and allegations as to the conduct of the 2016 elections.
The Picasso painting in question was part of the artworks that the government is trying to recover from the Marcos family since 2014.